We'll get through it, and then it's probably best to just have a discussion around what we see as a tackle ruck, and then what was the other one, Ruby?
More.
And a maul. So I think the biggest thing for me is that tackle ruck and maul is every pitch is probably going to be different. Every tackle is different, every maul is different, every ruck's different. So we're just got to make sure that us as referees are in the best position possible, that we can make the most accurate call. And generally the best position is where you can see the ball. So if you can see the ball, you're generally in a pretty good position. And then obviously from there you just do adjust a little bit to wherever you've got to get to, flat a tackle, wherever that may be. Sweet. So tackle ruck. A contestable phase where players can attempt to legally gain possession, disrupt the opposition ball, and create a platform to execute their game plan. Does everyone agree with that? Anyone see that slightly different? Cool. This is just some stuff up there. You really only need to worry about the first one, 41%. So tackle ruck, it's about 41% of our game. So it just shows that if we get this part of our game right, and if we're nailing this part of our game, that's 41% of the game that if we get that right, then we're doing a pretty good job. Other things aren't that big, like mauls only small, scrums another big part, but the tackle ruck area, there's 100 and something rucks in a game, I think, on average, and so it just shows if we can get that part of our game right, we're doing pretty well. So what you already know, law definitions, tackler rolling away and ball carrier release, so I think that's what we're going to go through in this slide. The key focus areas, so the tackler, so if I'm the tackler, what am I doing? The arriving defenders, what are they doing? Arriving tackers, and then we don't need to worry about that last one because that's not about us. So these videos, we'll go back to that one actually. So the tackler, we'll just have a little bit of a discussion on that. What's everyone's thoughts on tackler, on the guy that's making the tackle? What are they looking for in that situation?
After it's been completed?
Yeah, so when he's made the tackle?
Clear release.
Clear release? You want to elaborate on that a little bit?
And roll.
Clear release.
Of
The tackle play.
attacking player? Sweet. Anyone else got anything more to add to that, or?
Get up and move.
Get up and move?
Yep.
Sweet.
Come back in the gate.
And get back inside.
Through the gate. Cool. Okay, so if the tackler's moved, he's cleared the ruck. Next thing is, it can be either or, but the arriving defenders, what are we making sure they're doing? Through the gate. And then obviously the arriving attackers, so it can be in any different order, but we've got to keep an eye on that. But arriving attackers, is there anything different from the arriving defenders that they should or shouldn't be doing? Sweet.
The ball damage.
Too far past the ball. Yeah, probably both sides of the way.
Yeah, same.
Yep.
Just checking out there, mate.
Sweet.
It's a beautiful idea.
So the tackler, we'll just go through some examples here of different things where they've done some bad and good things. So we'll see if we can identify those. So tackler must release and roll away. That's number one priority. We touched on that just before. And the tackler must return to their own side before playing the ball. So obviously that rule just changed, was it 2 years ago? So a lot of guys still don't know that rule. They're just like, what do I do wrong? So we'll go through one at a time and we'll try and identify what the issue is.
Oh, we got a boot too.
You deserve that.
Nice Rito.
Cool, tackler not rolling, everyone got that? Happy? Just got his fat belly on the ball, sort of slowed it down a little bit. everyone get that one?
Couldn't really see.
Couldn't really see. You want to go again?
Yeah,
Oh, what do you got?
stayed on there. On the tackle, he flopped over, didn't
Yep.
he? Yeah, that's all enough to feed.
Mine all over it.
So if we watch it again, he's actually clear. And to me, if he'd have rolled out back,
The other
Right.
if
way.
he'd have rolled back up this way,
Yeah,
he would have been fine. But he's rolled. He's actually rolled into the ruck. Just watch it again. You see that this guy here. So he sort of moved
He's trying
into
to
the
go
ruck.
out,
Yeah.
So he's gone the wrong way,
The wrong way.
effectively. And the last one,
Yeah.
accidentally on purpose, I think.
Yeah.
You know, he was literally with him.
Yeah, you see, I've held him in, he was a lead.
So everyone see that one there?
Yeah, I'm rolling away.
Any feedback on that?
I don't think he could get out.
Nah, the guy's held him in with his lead.
I think that as well.
I think that's where he needed to go east to west. Not he was trying to go south or north, you know, and he couldn't.
My biggest thing in there, for me, from my point of view, is that he's not making enough effort for me. He's sort of just wiggling his way out, where I think he can make a little bit more effort to try and get out of there. So just have another look at it and just see what your thoughts are and if you've got anything different on it.
He's just staying here, on his back.
Yeah,
Sweet. Anyone else got anything to add to that? No? Happy with it? Cool.
I think you brought up a good point there. He didn't actually make an effort, and I've said to some people, like, if they actually make a genuine effort to get out and they can't, then I'm not going to penalise them for that. It's either a scrum or it's going to be a play on.
Yep.
If they make that genuine effort to get out,
Yes,
they
I
can't do
feel
anything more.
that's the same with Rito there. If they're making a genuine effort to get out and they're physically stuck in there, don't be shy just to give a penalty.
Unplayable.
Unplayable penalty. Unplayable scrum. So that's, you know, and I think a lot of the time, like a lot of the referees these days, just give a penalty there because it's easier. But don't be shy to do an unplayable there because it's
You'll get a
That's
lot
within
more
the rules.
respect like from that player and team.
Especially when you make a tackle and you've got them onto the other side and they've kind of come to blow out themselves, so you actually track between the person you've tackled and their first arriving, you're like, well, fuck.
but just I think really
Yeah,
make
yeah,
sure
like you're trying to get out of the business, it's like,
make sure that it's a genuine attempt to get out of there.
Yeah.
Don't
Yeah.
just blow a scrum because we talked about that on Monday. You'll probably get shot if you say that.
I'll read it.
So these next one are just the defenders over the ball. So we're looking at the tackler assist, just making sure they show clear release. Supporting body weight and then attempting to lift the ball. So I think, has anyone got anything to add to those three things before we look at the videos?
I'll just say those bottom two are basically the same. If you're in a strong body position, you're going to be able to be attempting to lift the ball, or by attempting to lift the ball, you've proven you're in a strong position.
Yep.
If you're not attempting to lift it, then quite often your weight is in your hands and you're just killing the ball and you're actually not on your legs. If they prove they're lifting, then they've proven that they're in a good position, basically.
Nice. Because I know that's, for me, if someone's over and they're on the ball and they just give me a penalty soon, I'll tell them to get their hands off because they're not attempting to lift the ball, and that's exactly what Rito just said there. 80% of the time they're probably not in a strong position to actually lift it. So ask them to lift it, and if they have a crack at it, then you can give them a penalty. We won't look at all these. We'll just have a look at 2 or 3 of them.
yeah,
Sweet. Everyone pick that one up?
yeah.
Happy? Some more magpies. On the side.
Yeah, good swing.
And the side, that's because 4 was there so quick and he was strong over the ball, so it's his only option really.
You've got to be watching that on those tackles that are made behind the
Yeah,
advantage line.
that's a big thing in that's starting to creep, I think, into all rugby now is when someone breaches a little bit, guys just enter from the side, and it's generally it's guys wearing 4 and 5 as well, the bigger guys, the taller
Is
guys.
that because they still think there's a tackle?
No, I think it's just that their main job is to secure that ball and clean out, and yeah.
The loosies are generally pretty good at getting around, but the guys wearing 4 and 5, it's they got they just for me that's the guys that I seem to ping all the time for that action.
Is that when they've been, so they've got behind ball, so the defence is actually...
Yeah, so the advantage line is here, and then I've breached and got to where Tiffany's feet are. So I got to that space there instead of getting around and back through the gate.
Yeah.
They're just coming in here
Yeah.
and then getting around from there. So it's sort of
Yeah.
well, it's illegal because he's come from the side. So.
You quite often notice it in those almost pick and goes or one-off runners too, when there's 3 of them in a line, one of them gets it, they get hit in a decent tackle, those 2 supporters have almost overrun it and they go fuck, and they just hit in the side just to clean out.
Yeah, he went past the ball, eh?
Hey, you got the penalty for it. Oh
No,
no.
no.
So he got penalised.
Yeah, he should have.
Because he went past the ball first.
His hands on the
His
ground.
elbows
Look like
went
he's
through.
Yeah, he wasn't on.
So does everyone understand why he's been penalised there?
E high doesn't.
So my eyes there, it's his elbows are on the ground, his head's on the ground, past the ball, so he's not supporting his own body weight. So if you cut his head off and cut his arms off, he'd fall over.
He probably did.
Probably. Just probably.
And we'll get this last one. Everyone see that? So they're saying that his hands are resting on the ground before he's had a crack at the ball.
His feet, you watch his back feet.
I thought
too.
it was
Yeah,
on
no,
the
no,
ground.
no way back there.
It's like leaning on the rock.
Like his knee. Like that did there.
No,
Yeah, his hands on the ground.
It's a tough one. It's easy to see that one live.
Yeah.
Sweet. So everyone happy with those pictures and what they're seeing? Is that sort of how we're all sort of? Is that a general view on what we're seeing in our games and what we're penalising or not penalising?
I don't know if we're penalising enough attack, doing the wrong thing.
Yep.
Like how you said, you know, or Rito said you overran your mate and now you just come into the side because
Yep.
that's where you're supposed to be. I don't know if we are.
Yep, I'd probably agree with that. That we let attack
Because we
probably get away with a little bit too
yeah.
much. So that's probably one of them is when, as Rito said, when they get beaten or they get tackled behind and they've overrun it, they clean in from the side.
All the other guys, they set up in those guard dog positions too, and wait, and then they get dominated, and they go in.
Yep.
Yeah.
So the side people on defence, I feel, are probably more the flankers if they haven't quite got into that correct position to get in. But on attack, I feel I agree with Dan. It's more the 4s and 5s that come in the side on the attacking side.
Because are we just looking at attack or are we just automatically looking for the defensive negatives then the attacking negatives? Are we?
I think we should be looking at it as a whole. Like you can only
Who's the
rule
rugby play and what they're doing?
you can only rule what you see. So obviously, when it's a ruck, your first 2 or 3 people there are key on what their actions are. And if you're, as I said, if you're in that right position where you can see the ball, and you're able to see clearly what person 1, 2, and 3 are doing, then I think 90% of the time you'll get the right decision. So just I suppose keep that in the back of your mind, and it could be an attacker, it could be a defender that's making the wrong
Yeah.
decision. You know.
if you can identify like if they're going to make the game line, or if the defence came up really fast and hit them back like 5 metres behind the game line, then if you can shift your focus from like say, Dan's the ref, you be the ref. So I got a flat pass and I'm going to attack the game line and get tackled 2 metres past it. Who's probably going to be likely to offend?
Defence.
the defensive team. So if we had more of our focus, not saying we don't look at the attack, but more of a focus on the defensive team there, as opposed to Dan's at the scrum and I get hit back here, and I get blown back in a nice
Yeah.
dominant tackle, then it's going to be these guys coming from the scrum and defence that have to be getting back around. These guys are going to have a nice, easier way, and they're less likely to offend. So if we can identify when they make the game line versus getting tackled behind the game line, then you can shift your focus from the attack to the defence. And quite often, I had one on the weekend, and they were so angry that I penalised them in the side, but it was again the attacking team just went straight here and blew out the guy who's in a perfect position from here. Yeah. But try and chop your focus from defence to attack, depending on if they go past the game line or not.
Great. So arriving attackers. So obviously they can't seal off. I think this is probably a space where myself I probably let go a little bit, which I shouldn't. Must not clean out a defender over the ball coming from the side. So we've spoke about this. And must not clean out tackle players past the ruck. So this is a pretty big one. When someone cleans someone out well past that metre past the ruck, and then they take them to the ground, or they put them out of the game for the 2 or 3 seconds and potentially open up some space as well.
How far is it?
Yeah.
Is there a number?
I don't know if it's I don't think it's a metre. I've never seen
That's
it.
near and there's no
There is
definition.
a definition
Yeah.
near.
Someone's not
Yeah.
in the ruck.
I'll go
You
one
can't-
more.
Stu, you found it.
Yeah, there was
There's
a
a
No,
definition of
near.
near.
Near is 1 metre.
It is,
Yeah.
but I don't think that's
It's
in
not.
that definition.
You just
that
can't
it's
clear a
near.
player beyond the ruck, and what makes the ruck is people who are bound within the ruck.
Like
So if
last
you
week.
clear someone past that ruck, well then you're offending.
So the last foot.
It's the last foot, yeah. Well, yeah, just basically any player outside of that ruck, you can't clear them past.
I think I've had maybe 2 in this club season so far. It was just blatant ones. They'd taken sort of 1.5 metres, 2 metres behind the ruck. Those are the
Might be
ones you
sneaky
got
neck roll on there too, I ain't flipping that.
I had a few just trying to be.
So once again, we'll look at some video clips on what that space looks like.
Clearing past the ruck.
Oh,
I mean, all the player.
because it got flopped down and sealed
Sealed
off.
off.
The
So
guy
he's
went
sort of
past.
Diving on the ball.
Yeah, what about diving?
Yeah.
So we won't worry about the first bit. The referee's obviously missed that part. What we're actually focusing is on how the Hurricanes guy, he's sort of isolated after that first guy's gone and got rid of him. But he's latched onto him and he's sealed the ball and given the attack really no option to have a crack at the
Yeah,
ball.
but you play that again. That guy was going to get cleaned out major, so he's gone down to try and avoid
Yeah,
it too.
yeah.
You just
So this guy.
oh, fair enough.
That should be a penalty.
So he saw that guy. He saw that big number 5 coming, and he went, "Oh, what am I going to do here?"
But yeah, first offence, we probably could have gone the other way.
He's probably let it go because he didn't really get him. He sort of went past him.
Oh, straight inside.
Oh,
Straight inside.
Lima did well.
Clean.
Sweet, pick that up. Oh. Doesn't want to go now.
Hmm?
What's going on, Ruby?
Ruby.
Yeah.
Oh, well, we won't watch that one.
Talk us through it.
Yeah.
Hang on, I'll try and watch it out.
Talk us through it.
Nah, don't worry about it.
Oh, so that's a clear where they've made the advantage and he's just cleared him straight from the side. He's cleared someone well past the ruck. He's standing on the side and he's just cleared him out.
Yeah, who can bother?
That's just done, it was dominant third.
Number 5.
Oh, I didn't see that. Oh, that one there is just that's a clear clean out past the ruck. So the ruck, if the ruck was here, he's dragged him and he's ended up on the ground back where your guys' shoes are. So it's well past, he's taken to the deck, so you sort of only get one option there, and that's to penalise that guy.
Do we need to come up with a consistent distance from the ruck that we're penalising? Instead of just saying past the ruck?
As everyone's here, so make a decision, and
It's not
group
just people
decision.
aren't bound, is that not? If they're not bound, they're not in the ruck.
No, it's
Yeah.
so it's they've made contact in the ruck, but then they've taken them out of the ruck. How far are we going to let them go?
Oh,
before we
right.
penalise?
You've driven me 2 metres out of it at my
A lot of times they're not trying to go, because the thing is, they're trying to clean out, they're just trying to go through them. But you'll notice they're either trying to drive up and just take them and take them and take them, or whether they drive through and then once they're out, just trying to shrug them off. Is that not, I don't know if there's a number on it.
Yeah, I guess the key is to ground though. That's
Yeah.
when they're taken to ground, because they're out of play.
Because the thing, if you see them running off, they've seen the ruck go past them and they're going for about 10 more metres. Then
So they have to go to
The
ground.
blind side.
No, I don't reckon they'd
Well, no, but
it's more the attempt, if it's
I'm
attempt
probably
just to go
I'm more
through
likely
it.
to penalise someone who clears someone off a ruck a metre to ground, then goes past it, and makes a good clean out, whatever. If there's the moment they go off their feet, they're out of the game. Whereas if it's still on their feet, they can still carry
So
on.
it's in the Hastings game, someone took Cracker out from the ruck. It was about me to where Dan is.
Yeah, so that's more than a metre. That's like
He was still on his
2.5
feet.
metres.
He was still on his feet though. That's
So-
not right.
You're good use.
So how I rule that is, if
Have a look at
if they stay on their feet, there's a little bit more, for me, there's a little bit more leeway on,
I think
on
so.
how much I let it go.
yeah. Whereas
So-
if it was a metre pass and then went to ground, I might.
If I take him past the ruck, so the ruck's at the table, if I take him past the ruck, say here, and I get him on the ground, it's out of the ruck. So that's about a metre. So to me, that's a penalty because he's gone to ground. Okay, so if he then takes him this far and they both stay on their feet, it's just the context of the situation and things. So, but if he goes this,
You're stopping him
Stopping it,
from
not going again.
rejoining in again. You've taken him over
Yeah,
that.
that's what
level.
it means.
I think what you've got to be looking at is what impact.
Yeah,
That's what it's saying.
That's what
Is
it
that
is.
actually, yeah, sorry, I mean, what impact is that guy, if he's gone, let's say 2 metres past the ruck, and he's clearly taken that player out, and let's say, something opens up,
Yeah.
you got to do something.
Yeah, so that's where you come to the context of the game.
Yeah.
And the feel of the game. If they stay on the feet, clearly, if he drags him to ground, he's tackled a man past the ruck, so you have to give a penalty. But if they stay on their feet, there's a little bit more leeway, I think, on that, and that's where that game situation, where game awareness needs to come in, and I don't know. So everyone's going to be slightly different on that.
I think I've only had 2 of those this year so far. But I was just thinking, do we need to put a thing on it, or do we just judge it
It's
each
not.
one to
It's
itself?
probably not so much when they're cleaning player that's actually in the ruck. It's the guys that are standing, not joining. That's
Yeah.
more where you
Those
see
colours
yeah.
Taking
actually,
out,
that's
yeah,
what
you
it
think
is.
sort of
They
thing.
they happen to get through the ruck, and then they take the guy at the back.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
more where the penalty.
Yeah.
Keep an eye on it.
Everyone happy?
Opening up again.
See where everyone's going.
He's
Um,
such good
teams don't know.
ball.
So
Yeah.
So we don't really need to worry about this, but
Just drop it.
a bugbear. A little bit about the top part there. The bug for me is when you're at a ruck, the ball's been won, and it's sitting like next to the last man's feet. To me, I won't say anything, but if a team says, "Is that out?" I'll just go yes, because all as the nine's trying to do is just give his team a little bit more breather. But if someone asks you the question, "Is that out?" to me, that's out. I don't know. Is everyone else with that as well? And the other one is if it's there and then the 9 tries to kick it back in, if someone asks me, that's out as well. I don't know.
It's a free
Yeah,
kick.
it should be, but you just like to see the 9 get smashed then. So, but to me, those are 2 situations where the ball is sitting there, and a lot of people just say they think it, because that's how at the top they're ruling that still in. But to me, that's out. So. Just hopefully everyone else is seeing that same picture as well. Crawling, Does everyone know what the actual term is for crawling? We touched
Not releasing.
touched on it last week. So it's they got that crawling action, which everyone is doing this, but it's actually not releasing the ball. So just make sure we try and get that right. So yeah, that's the.
I had that on the weekend, and I had that in my mind that I'm not going to call crawling,
Yeah.
and I was like,
What do I do?
not releasing the ball, and I was like, oh shit, that's not even like not releasing either. I was like, but I had it in my mind. I wasn't going to say crawl. They couldn't go like
No, I said you got to get to your feet.
yeah, but I did the wrong signal. You know, I went like that.
Then had one of them scoring a try. Then he penalised them and they scored a try at the other end. No, it was all good. It was legit.
So that was in the club so far.
That you feel like
Crawling.
Yeah, quite like
Not
I think
releasing.
4 in the Tick Hastings game.
But what about the other one?
3 in the Taradale Maris game, I think.
No, the other one is they'll roll.
Yeah.
They'll do one roll and
Yep.
then place it. You know, I penalised the guy because he actually there was a guy who was just about to go on the
Yeah,
ball
good.
and rolled, took him out penalised him.
Good.
So what? So that defender is going to get the ball.
Yeah, so that's
Because it's a double play. Effectively, double
That's
move.
perfect. That's a situation where it's tackle to a ruck. He's putting pressure on him. He knows he's under pressure,
Oh, yeah.
so he's trying to get that little bit of time. You know, I think years ago it was when they were talking about scoring a try and laying the basket. Getting him and laying the egg between the legs. So that was something they brought in to try and buy yourself a little bit more time. Now it's the crawling and the rolling where they're trying to create a little bit more time so that they guys can get there. So those are just 3 things that we can watch the attackers doing to try and pick that up and make it a fair contest for both sides. So just a summary, tackler. So obviously we talked about this at the start. Tackler must roll away, which is pretty basic. Must release and roll away actually. So that's an easy picture I think if they're not doing it right. Arriving defenders. So assist tackler, clear release. Make sure they're supporting their body weight and they're actually on the ball or attempting to lift the ball. Arriving attackers, so they must not seal off. We've seen some videos of that, of clear sealing off. The other one is if they're not holding their jersey, their hands are past the body on the other side. Clean outs from the side to try and remove threats. That probably goes to that does go for both teams, but more so the attackers, and must not clean out past the ruck. So we've sort of discussed those things around that tackle ruck sort of area. Sweet. Anything else to add to that?
Can I ask, just to throw a spanner in a bit of general discussion, we talk about the arriving defenders not being allowed to seal the ball off. Why are we allowing the tackle player, when he's tackled, to roll over the ball and lie there, effectively sealing the ball off from the defending team?
So if I am the ball carrier,
Yep.
and
And
that's
you get tackled
Yep.
and you land whatever way, but let's say you end up facing the defending team.
Yep.
And we're allowing those players to get up and roll over the ball. And under the law, they're supposed to place the ball and roll
Yep.
away, but we don't ever deal with that issue. It's just for general discussion.
No, you make a good point, because I had a bit of it in my MAC and Central game, and the MAC players were getting pissed off because Central, when they were tackled, were like effectively, so they'd be tackled and I'd go in and land on the ball like I was scoring a try, and then the MAC player was coming straight over and he was only able to grab the player's body. He needed to lift the player's body, and then they'll just place the ball back, and they were screaming at me like he's not releasing, and I'm like, well, you're not on the ball. So I can't really, I won't give you a penalty because you're not actually on the ball. But then it's like when you think about it, they're not allowing that ball, making that ball available.
That's a delay tactic.
So it's like, but yeah, it is. It's a delayed tactic. But the other thing is that when I don't know how many team trainings you guys go to, but it's the coach, to score a try, particularly ball. They land like that and then place it so that way they give that delay. And so but I know what you're saying, and I was looking at going, do I want to go down that path? Because there'd be a shit ton of penalties.
In that situation, if they can't get to the ball because the attacking guy's still on it, and if they've wrapped that player up around where the ball would be, and they're going like this, I'm rewarding that defender. The only time I'm not is if
Can you go?
They've gone like this, and the ball's there, and they're still around the body trying to grab it. I'm like, mate, the ball's there. But if the ball's here, and they're around the body, I'm rewarding them if they're on the ball or not. That's me, anyway. Because I think the attacking player's killing the ball. They can't get it.
I'm talking about the guy who.
Yeah, sure.
You can't miss it. But, so I'm attacking.
Yep.
I get tackled, and I end up lying this way, and then I get up and I go over the ball like this, and hold it here, and I stay there. You know, it's just
The tackle players stay there all the time.
we stay there all the time. We see it in every game. No one deals with it, and I understand because we want continuity. But what happens there is that the arriving attacking players, they don't stay on their feet. You'll find them down like this on the ground, so they're effectively off their feet, and they seal the whole ball off. It's only for general discussion, but the whole aspect of it is illegal.
So he's the tackler assist.
Yeah.
Okay, watch the central player.
Stays here.
See, he's scored the try.
Yeah.
See where the ball is, but he's not. It's hard to sort of see, but he's not on the ball.
Where's the ball?
You
So
can't
the
be
ball's
on
at the front. So he's. If you,
can't be on the
it's hard to see. So the central player is like this. So the ball's up here, and the MAC player is back here. He's gone down like that. Number 12. See the ball?
Yeah.
See the ball, and see the MAC player's feet. He's not on the ball, and central has scored
Is
a try.
that not his hand there?
Oh, it's behind. It's that way. The ball's in front. So he's not on the ball. But no, but this is what I'm saying. But this is what you're saying, isn't it? Really?
Yeah.
And then, so then the 7 is obviously going shit. He's in a strong position and tries to take him out, but still the MAC player wasn't on the ball. So I start barking at him. Get off! You're not on the player.
Yeah.
I'd be pinging
the way
So yeah,
Just me, personally.
yeah. That's what you're saying, is it? Yeah.
No.
Not quite. Oh, okay.
No, but